Good evening. So in the entrepreneurship world, and especially for those of us who are involved in teaching entrepreneurship, there's an active debate about whether entrepreneurship is something that is nature or nurture. And it's something that I've thought about a lot because this is the business that LearnServe is in. We're trying to nurture and cultivate entrepreneurship. And it's a question of, is that something innate to the people who go into that, or is that something that you can really bring out? And meeting the 3 honorees of our Entrepreneurship Award today, I actually don't know if they help us clarify that any further, because I think it's probably quite a bit of both there. So now that brings us to Mary and Jessica and Matthew. The projects that these students have started are among the most sophisticated organizations that I've seen, not just in the category of youth organizations, but in the category of well-run nonprofit organizations in general. And the way that you're able to inspire teammates, work with teammates, and cultivate leadership is something that I've been able to really admire and actually have learned quite a bit from myself. And so it is my tremendous, tremendous pleasure to award the 3 of you this year with our Entrepreneurship Award. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Scott. So we are Mary, Jessica, and Matthew, and we would like to start with a question.
Okay. What pisses you off?
Patients who can't get treatment.
Apathy towards science.
A badly formatted website.
Each of us was asked this question at the beginning of our LearnServe classes, and those were the first thoughts that popped into all of our heads. Because of LearnServe, we were able to take this passion and anger and transform it into something that positively impacts society and our lives today.
When I was in LearnServe, I was coming from a science and tech high school that was primarily focused on research. So I really enjoyed the experimentation that I was doing, but I found that I really became passionate when I actually understood how my lab work was translating into actually improving or saving lives. So when I heard about how people who have orphan diseases, or diseases that affect less than 200,000 people in the States, had little to no hope for treatment, I got angry. It seemed really wrong that the profits of pharmaceutical companies dictated if someone was even working on a cure. In some cases, the technology would literally be sitting on the shelves of a lab, ignored. At the time, there was no obvious profit motive for investing money to treat complex diseases with such a tiny market. But isn't the goal of science to improve the human condition for everybody? Through LearnServe, I was able to take this simple idea and turn it into what became Next Gen Policy, a nonprofit science policy advocacy group. We were able to rally hundreds of students together to lobby on behalf of improving rare disease legislation, and we were actually included in President Obama's historic signing of the FDA Safety and Innovation Act on July 10th, 2012. Thank you. Thank you. Our research and campaigning was actually able to contribute to the letter of the law that actually helped jumpstart investment and gave business incentives to these pharma companies. And now, since then, resources and investment have increased over 5 times, and investing in so-called rare diseases or orphan diseases is actually seen as a really strategic move. I've been able to continue this work and the spirit of NextGen through the MEDEX program, which is an interdisciplinary healthcare program that I started in college. And so we have groups all around the world now, actually, who are trying to teach students, especially in undergrad, that pre-health and pre-med education isn't just tied to the sciences or getting into med school or studying for MCATs. It's more about understanding the really complex landscape of medicine, which can include technology and finance and consulting and policy, and to really reflect what that means in terms of being a provider, being an administrator, being involved at all with any part of healthcare.
I was tired. I was tired of science being looked down upon as something only the nerdy kids did. I was tired of unequal opportunities for girls and minorities. I ended up talking to Scott about this, and he connected me with Jess Yang, a fellow from the previous cohort. She had founded Kids Are Scientists Too, or CAST, then at one high school in Maryland. CAST aimed to bridge the gap by providing free, interactive science lessons to underprivileged elementary school students by leveraging high school volunteers. With the vision of students teaching students, teens were given a medium through which to teach their passion, and children would learn from the cool older kids. I proceeded to found the CAST Virginia branch, which I grew then to 6 more high schools around Virginia. With lessons ranging from chemistry with ice cream to physics with roller coasters, I'll never forget the day when my students came up to me and said, "I want to be an engineer when I grow up." Today, with the foundation laid by Jess, I lead CAST as CEO, and I'm proud to see CAST established in 9 states across the country and impacting over 1,800 people annually. We now even have different initiatives, including the CAST Summer Camp, for which we have 2 different curricula, and CAST Edu, which is an effort to put our over 60 lesson plans online in a format that's easily accessible for homeschooled students.
I joined LearnServe as part of the inaugural class of the LearnServe Incubator Program. As someone who loves both startup tech culture and social impact, the incubator program was perfect for me. I entered the program because I was upset that what I was learning in school wasn't translating to meaningful action. Even my computer science classes at a top STEM school in the country were teaching me and my peers solely theory, not how to make apps or websites. Don't get me wrong, theory is important, but I think seeing your idea go from what if to mock-ups to an app that anyone can download or a website that anyone can visit is what makes computer science so magical. In fact, that's why I had founded Synapse LLC, my own software development company. The ramifications of this educational mismatch were far more than just teen frustrations. They are a legitimate economic problem. 50% of small businesses, just like my dad's, are losing millions of revenue every year because they don't have websites. And the ones that do, well, let's just say Comic Sans should be banned from the internet. So last year, I founded the Synapse Apprenticeship Program, which empowers high school students to both gain practical experience and serve their communities by creating websites and apps for local businesses and nonprofits. We've made websites for everything ranging from a local leadership institute to the Student Loan Tax Debt Relief Act, and I can't wait to expand this program in the future.
And one of the most rewarding things about all of this have been the ways that we've helped each other and been able to leverage our different skill sets. So I actually serve as the Chief Operating Officer of Synapse. Matthew just built a website for CAST, and Jessica is going to be a volunteer app developer this summer for Synapse.
Looking back 7 years ago, before we even heard of LearnServe, things were very different. We were just 3 siblings in a world too big for our family to change. But then we joined the LearnServe family, and they flipped our perspective with their motto, "The world is small. Think big." Well, it was LearnServe's big thinking that changed all of our worlds for the better.
Thank you so much, and have a wonderful evening with this great organization.